I'm in the middle of my first day of substitute teaching. I got my badge right here. It's yellow. It says Sage Lewis, substitute teacher, Akron Public Schools. I chose as my first ever substitute teaching experience 6th through 8th grade music. 6th through 8th grade music. That seemed like a good idea to me this morning at 6 a.m. There's an app, and the teaching job. So, like, I went to bed last night looking at the app, and there were like 6 or 7 jobs available, and there was a kindergarten job that I almost took. For some reason, that also appealed to me. Kindergarten, yeah. For some reason, the first graders and third graders intimidated me. But then, and I was dreaming about it all night long. I'm like, maybe I didn't have the right setting on because I wanted older kids. Because I just saw these like elementary school positions, and I'm like, boy, maybe I pressed the wrong button. So I went to bed. There were like 6 or 7 positions, and I wake up this morning at 6:15, and there's like 36 openings. It was like Christmas morning of substitute teaching options. 36 options. And I chose 6th through 8th grade music, which is actually awesome. But, woo! Middle school people. I don't know if you've ever been in a room with 40 middle schoolers. But, did you ever see that movie, Lord of the Flies? You gotta be on your guard. I think they could take you down. They're really good people. They're just a lot of energy. And what's interesting is I haven't done my 8th grade class, which I have general music, and I have chorus. And the reason I picked this is because, I went to school primarily to be a musician. I ended up with an English degree and a music minor. But, that's how I got to school, was scholarship on music. So I know music, and I like music. I'm like, music. Let's do music. That sounds good. I can participate in the music. And my kid told me, he's like, dude, just don't overdo it. I think he knows me already. It's like, just go with the flow. Just don't overdo it. So, first period, I overdid it. I found the drum room. I got out all the drums. And you know what? That was fun. And it was funny because they were like, well, our teacher never lets us use the drums. There was a general music class. I'm like, what? And it's interesting because I'm on the northern side of Akron, and this is where our immigrant population is. And so the diversity here is so cool. So cool. And there were 2 kids who are immigrants, and I don't know where they're from, but, man, they could play the drums. They could do hand drums, the Doombecks and all that kind of stuff. They were good. But then I just went too hot. I went too heavy. I got exhausted. And then second period was, what was second period? I think that was chorus. Let's see. Yeah, chorus, 7th grade. You know what? It seemed like 40 kids. It was 19 kids. It felt like 40 kids. was 19. I was so exhausted from my drum circle that I was like, oh, okay, all right. And then I was like, hey, let's practice our music. And, because they got a concert coming up. And turns out, they're not starting in the beginning and there's different. This teacher has a process and I don't know the process. And so I'm pulling out this music and they're like, that's not how it's done. And I'm like, I don't know how it's done. I'm just new here. And my piano skills are so wretched. I didn't bring my cello. I should have maybe brought my cello. I mean, maybe I'll bring my cello next time. Maybe I should just always bring my cello. But anyways, thank goodness for the students. Because this one young female, what do you call them? A girl. I like that word girl, but now I feel like it's a condescending word. A young woman, a 7th grade young woman said, could we just do free singing? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what, are you just all going to sing separate all at once? She's like, no, man. We're going to stand up and we're going to sing. I'm like, whoa, okay. All right, yeah, free singing. And then that was good. Like they stood up, literally these kids, these young people, came up willingly, stood in front of the class. Some rapped. One young woman danced like a really interesting dance, like some, I don't know, ethnic dance from where she was from. So amazing. And then other people sang, and the kids were really supportive of each other. That was wonderful. And then I got an idea. Group karaoke. And that crushed. That was what's up. I'm talking Anna Kendrick's Cup Song. I'm talking some other songs I can't remember right now. And you just go, because I got a computer and I figured out how to get on the computer. And I can project the computer on the screen here because schools have, projectors now. And so you can just go in and you can type in, the name of the song. You type in the word clean, and then you type in the word karaoke. And then, bam, it just shows up. And so we were all singing karaoke. That was so fun. And then I'm like, that's it. I'm going to run karaoke classes. And then the 6th grade general music people came. And I'm like, hey, we're doing karaoke. Turns out the 6th grade general music kids don't know any songs. They don't know any songs. So the karaoke didn't, you can't just, one hit wonder like I thought I had cracked the code of substitute teaching karaoke. Turns out 6th grade general music students don't know any songs. But they know songs. They don't know the singing song. So we then let them come up and pick songs that they listen to. And but they're all really sensitive about things being appropriate. And I'm not trying to be inappropriate. I was always doing the clean thing, but then they had me on the edge about being inappropriate. We were listening to some song that is a regular song, but then you listen to the words and it starts to get, a little risque about what they're doing. I mean, not swear words or anything, just and I'm like, you're creeping me out. It's all creepy. No more music. And I don't know. And then it kind of devolved into chaos. And, but, that was good. And then it came. The planning periods. It is now 1:45. And I have been sitting alone in this room since, let me tell you, the end of 4th period, 11:20. 11:20, and I don't have another class until 1:45. I got another hour of sitting in this room, which is great. And I would plan, but I don't know what I'm doing. I had a plan, karaoke, group karaoke, and then that didn't work in my other class. Then we kind of just did song. But I'm hopeful that, what's next? 8th period, which is my next period, is 7th grade general music. Okay. I don't think karaoke's going to work. Oh, I heard that there are music games. Mr. Scrutchins is the teacher here, and he's like, the lesson plan is here, and I opened it up, and it's like, be creative and expressive. I'm like, great. Cooperative learning, independent work. I don't know. Wait, that's September. Here, yeah, games. I'm going to go to musicteacher.com. And I'm going to see if there's some music games. I'm going to try music games. Let's try that. And then, 8th grade chorus, which has 23 students. That's more than I can fend off by myself without a stick. Okay, wish me luck. But 8th grade, and the chorus, the 7th grade chorus was so good. I mean, they were really like into it. So I'm thinking maybe the 8th grade chorus is going to be great. So maybe we'll try, I don't know, maybe more group karaoke or free singing. Like, I think I'm just going to do that. I can't teach the music because I don't. It's not just the music; it's laid out anyways. It's fun though. I like middle schoolers. I think they should run around more in their lives. They still have a lot of energy. The 6th graders especially. I just feel like, oh my gosh, you don't have recess around here anymore, do you? Oh, you poor humans. You need recess. So I thought about jumping jacks, but then I was like, I don't know. So then I thought of my kids, advice, don't overdo it. I'm like, all right, I'm just trying to get out of here alive. That's my plan. Everybody live. If everybody gets out of the end of the period alive, it's a success. One point, kids were leaving the room. I'm like, and the kids are like, they're leaving the room. I'm like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? They're like, don't leave. They didn't tell me. Because you know what? There's no substitute training. They're basically, here's your badge. Here's how you log in. Just substitute. We have 30-some openings every day. It's like a medium-sized business, just the substitute operation. But I wanted to talk to you about why I became a substitute teacher. So, I do need the money because I'm about $1,300 behind on the building at 15 Broad Street, and I'm still open to selling it, but it's not going as well. Like, I had one group that was on the hook. They looked like they were really serious, and then they just were like, nope, never mind. So in the meantime, I need to make it my contribution to the family cannot be negative $1,300, okay? That cannot be my family financial contribution to the family. Negative $1,300. Okay, so you make, I don't know, $120 a day here. So right there, that's 13 days. So, that would solve it. But I don't think I'm going to I don't know. But you can get a lot done here. You can see I've got like 2.5 hours free. And what if that's like normal? I mean, what if you have planning periods every class where you just sit around and plan? So you can do other things. So, So, yeah, there is a money component to it. But if I was really just into money, I'd try and get a job that paid more. I mean, that's not bad. It's better than McDonald's. And quite honestly, I would kind of like to work at McDonald's too. If I didn't need money, if I didn't need $1,300, I can't actually imagine how much you'd have to work at McDonald's to raise $1,300. I'm making way more than minimum wage at this job. Because I pulled in at what? Like 7:45. I'm going to leave at 3:15. Let's just call it 8 to 3. That's 6 hours. I'm making like $20 an hour. That's pretty good, right? With like a 2-hour break in the middle. Podcasting. I can podcast here and it's quiet. It's quieter than 15 Broad Street, I'll tell you. This is a good podcast studio right up in here. So, there is definitely a money component, right? But it's not huge. Like, there's another reason I chose, and another like logistical reason why I chose substituting is because it's so flexible. You literally go on an app at 6 a.m. and you're like, I'll see if there's anything available. Maybe I'll substitute today. Not feeling it. Doesn't matter. You just don't check in. You either check in or check out. It's really great. I mean, that's really great. I'm thinking about potentially substituting Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays. And then on Monday and Tuesday, I can do my homeless work, And then apparently you get planning periods where you can do other things. You can't be on Facebook around here. I really tried. Tried VPNing into it. They've locked that down. Which, quite honestly, worse things in my life than not being able to get on Facebook for a couple hours. It'll be there when I get home. So, so the flexibility is really good, and if I have something come up, then I have something come up and I don't substitute that day. All right? It's great. It was also nice that I got to use my degree. They literally wanted to see my degree, which was so nice. I've never had to show anybody my degree. 48 years old, never had to show anybody my degree, and now I'm like, oh, yeah, I have a degree. They're like, perfect. You have to have one to have this job. I'm like, all right, well, good. And a background check. I got a clean background. I don't know if you could be a felon and be a teacher. Don't know. Probably not. Or it's not a teacher. I mean, a substitute. I don't know what they do a background check. My background's clean, so I guess it's okay. But I don't know what happens if your background comes back dirty. I don't know what happens. Okay, so there was a money component, there's a flexibility component, but then there is a social curiosity component. I am really into the sociological or almost anthropological aspect of homelessness. What causes homelessness? What causes it? And we've got some working ideas. So the guy over at Community First Village in Austin, Texas, his theory is that homelessness is caused by a catastrophic loss of family. And there's a lot of truth to that, right? Like, you fall through all the familial safety nets. And it's amazing how much American society relies on our families to take care of everybody here. If you don't have a family and you start running into some financial problems, you can start going to friends, but you wear out your welcome really fast. Really fast. And the likelihood is that, if these financial problems keep spiraling, you will end up homeless. So I think that, so there's a bunch of kids out in the hallway. Let me look. I'm pretty sure I don't have a class. I have these rosters. Oh my gosh. Woo, it's exciting. What time is it? 12:55. Yeah, 12:54. That's the end of sixth period. I have one more period. I'm pretty sure nobody's coming in my room for another 45 minutes, which is actually 50 minutes or more because there's 5 minutes on either side. Anyways, so I think a catastrophic loss of family is a reason why people become homeless. But then you would have to ask, do all people that have no family become homeless? And I would say no, right? I mean, there's a good chance that, I probably would not become homeless if my wife died, my kid died, my mom's dead, my dad lives in another state, and that's pretty much it. Those are the four. There's three people that I would consider family that would take care of me. Well, my kid's 15. He can't take care of me. I don't think I would become homeless if all of my family, those three people, disappeared. I don't think so. I mean, the likelihood of me becoming homeless would certainly increase because I have no fallback system. And so there's that. Hello? All right. Turns out there's a kid coming in here to finish a test. I don't know what goes on in the world. So I think I have to wrap this up. So at any rate, I would say that homelessness, being without a family can increase your likelihood of being homeless, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be homeless. Being a drug addict certainly doesn't mean you're going to be homeless. The vast majority, I estimate about 97% of addicts are not homeless. So being addicted does not, but then you add addiction to catastrophic loss of family, and then your numbers go up. But I think, and Ashley, our community director, is developing a hypothesis that it is trauma. Trauma causes homelessness. And that is an extremely powerful force that significantly increases your chance of being homeless. So I think when you take all of those things, you take loss of family, addiction, and trauma, you mix all those together and you develop a mental health issue. And I would imagine your likelihood of being homeless at some point in time becomes highly likely. That all those things together, the loss of family is definitely a solid family will get you through an addiction, a mental health issue, and extreme trauma that you've experienced over your life, especially in childhood. So if you have the family, your likelihood of not having a family that will support you, and won't abandon you, your likelihood of becoming homeless drops significantly, for sure. But just because you lost your family or have no family does not by itself mean that you're going to be homeless. All right, I will get back to this.